it's a good angle. And then we'll just have you scoot in this way a little bit. Cool. So thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. I know you guys are really busy, so we really appreciate it. So we just had a few questions. Shouldn't take more than about 15 minutes of your time.
Okay.
So I guess our first question here is, your page has 18,000 likes, which is a good amount. How do you feel about the impact this has with your business and your current customers?
I mean, I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. It just becomes a place where they can find more information about our products, as well as just more of the lifestyle and what it's like to actually be a part of Chico Bag. So it just kind of makes everything more well-rounded, that we get to know the background and the inner workings of a company and a product, instead of just seeing like just the end result.
We can get feedback from them as well, which is always a great thing, to be able to talk directly to your customers who are going into stores and buying your product. Right. And I mean, a lot of our referral traffic to our website comes from Facebook, so it's profitable as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's what's cool about Facebook, is a two-way communication. I like that. Cool. And then we were surfing your page, and we noticed that you like to post a lot of challenges and giveaways. What makes these posts important to you, and how effective are they with your current customers?
We feel they're pretty darn effective. We get a lot of new following because we get to partner with other brands that are just like us and that believe in the same kind of thing, like eco-friendly and reusables, recyclables. So we end up getting a lot of their customer base that they may not have known about Chico Bag before, and then our fans get to know about other products as well. So it kind of just works for everyone. It's a win-win, and then plus people love to win stuff. So I mean, it's really easy. All they do a lot of times is like the page or like another thing, or it's just a couple clicks and they get to possibly win a bunch of stuff. So it's fun.
Cool.
Free things are always nice for people, and we work with a lot of, for lack of a better term, mommy bloggers, and that's like what they do, is they review products and then they give them away. And so when they can combine that with social media, it helps a lot.
Nice.
I guess mommy blogger is an actual term.
I'm unfamiliar with it.
So mommy bloggers are like stay-at-home moms who start blogs to try to generate revenue while they're staying at home with their kids. So they contact companies like us and say, hey, I have this blog, I have this many followers, I have this many Facebook fans, I want to review your product. So basically you just send them free product and they review it and post on their site. So some of them have like thousands and thousands of fans and followers, and they create like this community of like-minded moms. And
interesting.
It's like ratings and reviews are big on things like Amazon. People buy things based on what their friends like or recommend. And so it's kind of an interesting fad. I don't want to call it a fad, but a recent trend in marketing.
It kind of helps out both parties, since it's helping out the mom and you guys.
Exactly.
So it's kind of a way to get them to do it.
Yeah, and they get some stuff that I'm like, how did you convince that company to send that $400 vacuum?
Yeah, that's funny. Cool. So we also noticed that you promote sales and discounts through Facebook. How does this actually affect sales?
It does really well. I mean, a lot of times whenever we do a lot of sales on Facebook, we do see the results every single time. So it ends up being really well received, and then people end up sharing it, and then it just only helps. So it does increase.
Special.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And we try not to do too much. So a big part of Chico Bag's business is we sell to retailers who then resell our products. So we're essentially competing with them on our website when we run sales that they don't have the ability to also run. So we try to tie them into, if we're giving retailers 10% off on a certain product during this month, we would run the same sale through our site. One, to encourage them to do the same, to push that discount through to their customer. And two, just because if they're getting a deal, we should be able to push the same deal.
Why not?
It's one of those sales marketing balances.
Cool. And we saw that there were only 2 videos posted in the last 4 months. What is your opinion on videos for your page?
It's we haven't really gotten too far into videos. It's a lot more of a photography and graphics and whatnot. Videos do take, I guess, more time, a lot more time to create and to make sure it looks clean, professional, and informative. So we have done a few product videos and a couple little event videos here and there, but it takes up a lot more time.
Yeah, we have a lean team, so
yes.
And consumer business is about 10% of what we do, so in the big scheme of things, it's not the biggest moneymaker. So utilizing those resources, we kind of try to make videos that can be used across all channels. So retailers can have benefit from posting them on their sites, we can have benefit to the end user, but because we have a business that we sell bags with people's logos on them, we sell products into retail stores, we sell fundraisers, so it's hard to get a clean message with a video, and it just takes a lot of resources. So it's on the plan for
yeah, definitely.
for the future. But do they get good interaction? I don't even.
Yes and no. I mean, some people just think they just like comment and they'll be like, neat. You know, like, well, thank you.
We get a little more.
Yeah, exactly. We won't spend 10 hours on this guy, so thanks.
Right.
Yeah, but reposting other people's videos, like this Thursday, just a plug for Chico Bag. We're going to be on CNN's show, Inside Man. So Morgan Spurlock came
I saw that actually.
Came to Sacramento.
8 months ago.
Yeah, in June of last year, and filmed for this segment, and it's airing on Thursday. So that's exciting for us. It's like a big name, and so we will be posting videos around that, but we didn't make them. We're just sharing them.
Right. Yeah, just another source. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so regarding post time and frequency, when do you guys think is the most effective time of day to post, and why would that be?
I mean, it just depends on your audience. Luckily, Facebook has for business pages analytics, so it actually shows you an overview of when most of your fans are online or when they're at least surfing.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you a better idea. I mean, if you start posting around like super heavy times, like when people get off work around 5 or 5:30, there's a lot of people on looking through their Facebook page, but everybody's posting during that time. So you may post it, but then immediately you're like 10th down on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of find those balances where it's something might be a little bit later or a little bit earlier, so that way you're still on the top for as long as you can.
So you try to find a medium
Mm-hmm.
where there's people on but not posting too much.
Exactly. I mean, so it's that fine little balance where some days always work better than others. Kind of depends on what's going on in the news or current events with everybody. But we find for our audience, it's around like 9 o'clock because everybody kind of gets settled in from work and they kind of take a break and like, oh, I wonder what's on Facebook, and they kind of mess around.
Right.
And 6 o'clock.
Their
Are usually the
employers
best
love
times.
that.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, and even around 3 o'clock too. It's mostly around like the slumps where everybody kind of gets tired or they get bored and they just want to take a breather and they pop out their phone and see what's going on.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do you determine the amount of posts you guys make?
I mean, we try to schedule everything in advance as best we can. A lot of events, like for 2-3 weeks, we try to create a bunch of posts that may or may not be time sensitive depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then if something comes up, like an upcoming event, then we'll kind of throw it in there and then move one of the non-time sensitive posts down the line.
Right.
I mean, we feel probably around 3 times. I mean, every company is different and depends on what you're trying to plug. But for our fans, we feel like we don't want to just put 5 to 10 posts a day because then that's all you see, and then we're basically almost spamming their feed.
Super repetitive.
Yeah, exactly. And you just kind of get annoyed at those kind of companies unless they're doing.
Dislike.
Yeah, exactly. Or you just don't want to see them anymore because you're like, I don't want to hear from you again and again and again.
Yeah.
I only want to see things that actually are important or that are interesting.
Uh-huh.
And so when they see our post, they hopefully realize it's something that is worth reading.
You're right. Okay.
So we shoot for 3 times a week minimum. Sometimes it's like if stuff's going on, we'll post more than that, but typically we don't post more than once a day. Sometimes twice a day.
There's none
I mean,
of
that's like what Twitter is for.
Yeah,
We
right.
can
Yeah.
post them 10,000
You
times.
guys are on Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Cool.
And it also comes down to resources. So Nau runs our page for the most part. I review things, but for the most part he comes up with it all. And just like any position, there's vacations, there's sick days, there's stuff that is more important that day. And so sometimes if you look through enough history, you'll be like, there's like 8 days there that just
Yeah, I was scrolling through and noticed,
There's some gaps.
stuff like that
gaps.
happens.
Yeah.
Where it's just not the priority, and that's the nature of small business. Is there's 10,000 things that are more important than daily activities.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you guys use the promote feature of the Facebook business page? If so, then how does it affect the traffic of your page? And if not, then why do you feel it is not necessary?
I mean, based off the new algorithm that Facebook's doing a lot of things, it becomes exceedingly difficult to reach your fans. So promoting your page and paying for the space is actually the only real way to get up there and to get the results. Whenever we have really big events, like either like a big, huge company event, like our 10 years coming up, so we're going to promote that, and it's just something to create awareness for something that's very important to us, or sales. Like if we're going to run a flash sale for a day, we'll promote that. That way it becomes it shows up a lot more on the feeds themselves.
And it typically returns.
Yes.
Like, we've never lost money
Mhm.
on promoting a post.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the intention was not to create sales. Like, our 10-year anniversary is coming up, and that, it'll probably still generate sales, but that won't be the focus of the promotion. It'll be to really just brand building, telling
Mhm.
people that we've been around for 10 years.
Right. Okay. And what do you think is the most effective style of the post that your customer base responds to?
Are you, like, in terms of just like photos versus comments versus links and stuff like that?
Contests,
Yeah,
giveaways.
I guess just
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you get the
Context.
most, the most feedback from.
Either mostly contests, like fill in the blanks work relatively well, but it's always tied in with a contest. Photos obviously get a lot of results as well.
Uh-huh.
Links don't really get that great of a return, especially if they're links to your own page, because I think they just kind of do an algorithm that kind of weed those out after a while, because you can only share one link so many times before the viewing just gets way down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say anything that asks for input too. Like, what bag do you want to see next? Or guess what this is, and we'll do like a little preview, like a square from that bag, and people will guess
okay.
what's coming out next. Or
Anything that gets the customer to interact.
Engagement.
Get some
Yeah.
buy-in, yeah.
Or like, we have 3 different prints that we're looking at, which one would you buy?
Right.
People, simple things like that don't require
People like
much.
it,
yeah.
People love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially if it's like 1, 2, or 3. And that way somebody's like, oh, it's 1, I like it. But if you're like, please explain why, then people are like, I like it, or 1, because it's pretty. They won't actually really give you a reason why. It's just something as simple, so less is more a lot of times when you ask questions.
Right.
I noticed that your fill in the blank had like 97 comments on the last one you had, which was a good amount.
Yeah.
People take the time to do that.
But I believe it was also tied into something to win.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like a hybrid.
Yeah. It's like,
Those work the best.
Yeah.
I think. Or like, we'll post jobs on there from time to time. Those seem to get a lot of engagement as well.
Nice.
And I mean, those will even, I feel like we target those to California.
You can
because-
geo-target all your posts and whatnot to certain areas or genders or age groups or however you really want to. You can drill down as far as you want.
Not
Which
really in
works-
depth.
It works well for like, if partnerships, they're like, oh, we're having an event in Alabama, can you share this? And it's like, no one's gonna care, so we target it to Alabama. We're like, okay, there's
Wow.
17 people who we have as fans in Alabama will see
Mhm.
this, but no one else will. So you can kind of support partners in a way that makes them happy, but doesn't make your fan base go like, why do we care about an event in Alabama?
Well, it's also good for the people in Alabama too, like the fans themselves, because they're like, oh, cool, I can go to Chico Bag there if I show up between 9 and 12.
That's a
And then-
horrible example because Alabama is not really a good market
Yes.
for us, but
It's okay. We
Exactly.
understand what you're trying
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
I
So
think we already got the answer to that one, but you can ask it again.
yeah, I was just gonna ask anyways. You guys both manage the Facebook account, or
Yeah, I'd say both of us. I do a lot of it, but I always bounce ideas off of her, and she always helps me review stuff, and kind of we can plan ahead on promotions and giveaways and stuff like that together.
okay?
when I started at Chico Bag 6 years ago, that was one of my main roles. We had about 600 fans, and when you started, we had, 12,000?
Yeah.
Something like that. So it grew quite a bit in that initial, I think the first 6 months I was here, I had a goal of getting from 600 to 3,000, and that was a really fun project. But, so I did it in the past, he does it now, and I'm just there to brainstorm and copy edit.
Hey, you guys do a really good job. Yeah, it's a good page, so
Yeah.
that's why we chose you guys.
Yeah, we reviewed a bunch of them, and you guys just stood out, so that's why we came in.
We also have a Bag Monster page,
Yes.
which we're not really responsible for. That's the owner. The owner.
Right, I seen the
Does
challenge over
the
there.
Bag
we saw
Monster
all those bags out
page.
there.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Well,
insane what Chico has hoarded in their closets.
right. Well, thank you for your time. We
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Thank
Sierra,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
If
great.
questions
Thank you.
come up,
Okay.
let us know.
And tell me your name again.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you too. Good luck
So I
on
got-
your paper. Let us know if anything comes up.
Yeah, definitely. We really appreciate it.